Last weekend, like all other Indians, I saw the news about a man, elderly man, being beaten up to death by someone who thought he was a Muslim, someone who kept asking him for his Aadhaar card, and when he didn't respond or he responded in a confused way, started beating him. When I saw this video first, with all the trigger warnings that were there from all the news outlets, I didn't want to see the video because I knew that it was going to be hard to watch. But I decided that I don't want to look away from something that is happening in society, and I watched the video. Every second of that video, I cringed and I winced. I kept turning it off. I kept looking away because I couldn't see how cruel could someone become. I couldn't see how heartless someone could be. I couldn't see it, and I wondered to myself what has happened to our society. There are a couple of different aspects in this news item. There's the religion aspect, which is a major thing that is happening in India, but I don't want to focus on that. I want to start with the basics, and that is the humanity aspect. When I started wondering how can somebody be so inhuman, I remembered what I was talking about to a group of people on Saturday, where in a public session I was talking about morality and moral intelligence, and one of the things I remember saying is murderers don't become murderers just like that. They're not born murderers, they become murderers because of the choices that they make through their lives. And looking at our lives and looking at our society and the choices we've been making as a society, it made me realize that we've not been making good choices. I believe that all of us have a moral compass that we're born with, the conscience that we're born with. And when we were younger, our conscience was stronger, our moral compass was clean, and we could see what was right and what was wrong. And when we did something wrong, our compass immediately showed us, and we felt the guilt, we felt ashamed, and we would go and apologize. We would go and say sorry for something that we did, even if we didn't get caught, because we were racked with guilt. Because our moral compass was so strong and clean, and we could see the directions very clearly. As we grew older, as we became students, as we went into college, as we went into professional lives, our moral compass became a little dirty. Every time we made choices that were maybe in the gray, there was mud on it, it started getting cracked, and the more we made those choices, thinking that we were doing the right thing for ourselves, for our own lives, for our own benefit, for our own convenience, our moral compass started getting more and more damaged. And it has slowly reached a stage where our conscience doesn't prick us anymore. We can lie very easily, we can bribe someone very easily, and we don't even feel the pinch. We don't know which way is north, which way is south. We don't know which way is the truth and which way is the lie. We don't know which way is good and which way is bad. That's what's happened to our society today. We have lowered those standards of morality. We have lowered our value system, and this whole incident is a consequence of that. Now, I'm not being dramatic. I don't think I'm being dramatic. I really think that we have allowed people to do what they want for their own benefit, and the small choices that they make through their life have reached a stage where they can do something like this. Why would a man hit an elderly, clearly confused man, even if he thought he was a Muslim? What is going through his mind? And why is somebody taking a video of that? Why is that person not helping? We have fallen to that stage where we don't know what way is up. We don't know. It's not clear. I am pretty damn sure this man is going to justify his actions soon. He's going to say why he did what he did. He's not going to think he's doing wrong. Why? Because his moral compass is so dirty and destroyed that he doesn't know it just is not clear to him. And I am just thinking and assessing whether that's true of me myself as well. Are my choices making my moral compass dirty? Have I made choices that have slowly fogged up my moral compass? And if I have, does my compass need cleaning and repair? And I think many of us can say, yes, my compass needs cleaning and repair, because I don't feel bad anymore when I lie to someone. Most people say lie to protect yourself, lie to protect your family, do whatever it takes to protect the people that you love. And when we do that, our moral compass becomes so destroyed that we reach a stage where we don't even know what's right. I don't want society to reach that stage. I don't want people to reach that stage. And so I want to use this video to encourage you to assess and reflect on your own lives, to assess and reflect on your family life, and see whether we are holding up those standards that we were taught and we know to be true. There are some universal principles that everybody agrees to. Every religion, every country of the world believes that integrity is good, honesty is good, compassion is good, self discipline is good, forgiveness is good, love is good. But are we practicing these, and are we holding these to the highest standards, or are we letting those standards slip? Because once we start slipping, just imagine slipping down a hill, one foot slips, and you can't hold yourself up. You try to grab onto the hill, to the stones, but you start falling, and somebody else is trying to pull you up, and they slip as well. And that's where society is going. We're just slipping down the hill, not knowing that the reason we're slipping down the hill or falling down the hill is because we have not held on to our standards. We have not held on to our moral compass. We are not using it. We can't use it because it's dirty and damaged and destroyed. All this to say that I am requesting all of you watching this video to think about your lives, think about your family life, think about your kids. Are you correcting them at this stage of their life, or are you letting them do whatever they want to do? Many parents I know believe that they want to give their best to their children, and that's not wrong. But you give them the best of an education, you give them a best of toys, you give them the best of everything except for your moral values. It all comes down to that. It comes down to the family, it comes down to the teachers, it comes down to the community. Are we talking about these things? Are we talking forgiveness? Are we encouraging forgiveness? Are we encouraging compassion? Or are we encouraging arrogance? Are we encouraging love, or are we encouraging ego? Are we encouraging self control, or are we encouraging pleasure? These are things we need to think about as a society, and we need to correct ourselves as society, because this story that we heard, this video that we watched, it's gonna become the norm if we don't correct ourselves. It has already become the norm, but it is gonna become the norm. So if you're looking at the news, if you're looking at these stories and wondering, what can I do? Do this. Do this. Think about moral values. Think about things that are good and noble and true and kind, and pass those on to the people around you. Have those conversations. Talk about these things. Do things that actually elevate the people around you. These are the things that will make our society better. These are the things that will make these stories not so common, because the more people start cleaning up their moral compass, the more people start using that compass then to look at what is right and what is wrong and following that direction, the more all this is going to go away. There's a lot to be said, a lot to be done, but I think it starts with us. It starts with us seeing our life and seeing, where did I go wrong? Where did my moral compass become dirty? Where did I start making choices that lowered my standards? I always quote Newton's law of motion: for every action, there is equal and opposite reaction. I believe that for every choice, big or small, there is an equal and opposite consequence. And the consequence may be now, the consequence may be in 10 years, the consequence may be after you die, but there is a consequence. So be conscious of your choices, be conscious of your moral compass, and see whether it needs fixing, because finally, we all want a society that is safe. We all want a society that is peaceful. We all want a society that is filled with love and joy. And this world that we are seeing right now is not it.